another aspect of my career before I got involved with Phil and the Indigenous file was judicial education. I was with some other colleagues, women colleagues, law professors, basically. We founded a group called the Women's Legal Education and Action Fund to ensure that our new Charter of Rights and Freedoms in 1982 would be interpreted to deliver what it promised in terms of human rights. It was our first constitution that gave individuals human rights against the governments that control them. And so we realized that, well, look, if it's the same old approach with a new instrument, i.e. the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, we'll get the same results. And so we started a movement, actually. It was very controversial at the time. But when we looked at judges' decision-making, when it came to things involving women, which were, whether it was sexual harassment, sexual assault, support upon divorce, whether it was workplace discrimination, women never seemed to be able to make an impact within the legal culture. And so we showed judges through their own decisions how biased some of them were. And that started a whole movement about looking at the traditional use of precedent and what's within those precedents, whose vision, who is the reasonable man, what is common in common sense, what are the bedrock principles upon which our legal system is built to come to these kinds of decisions. So that opened my eyes enormously as a lawyer to realize the system within which I was working was essentially fair to a group of people, but they were the group of people who made the laws, enforced the laws, interpreted the laws, which weren't women, which weren't brown people, which weren't other minorities, the disabled or LGBTQ. It wasn't those people. It was a very small group of people using the law to promote what they felt was fair and just for them. So that was an insight that I had, and we worked with all over the world, actually, including in countries other than, British common law countries, Vietnam, for example, China, but the US, Canada, England, South Africa, India, all of those places with the common legal heritage, the problem was identical.
Wow, that was quite powerful, isn't it? Because what you just heard was the term legal culture. We've heard the term legal systems, but to hear the word legal culture means that even law, which we regard with very high respect as a source of ultimate truth, also seems to suffer from certain biases and assumptions. And I think what Kathleen did was she brought those assumptions and biases to the surface because she didn't belong to that culture of white middle-aged men who are the custodians of law. And I think that's precisely the job of any change agent, and that's how culture change happens, is the ability to bring all those myths and metaphors and beliefs and biases and rituals and habits to the surface and then leave it there for people to see them, people who actually hold them. And I think that's a very powerful way to influence culture.